Chapter 3. Admission Ritual. Sena was amazed by the beautiful view. On the way to the entrance ceremony, they followed a wide and long cobblestone promenade. Rows and rows of snow mist trees were in bloom around it, and the petals were falling around them like snow. Sena's trio and several other new members of the GP were all walking down this road at once. Even though he was worried about falling or getting stuck on a branch, Sena couldn't help but be caught up in excitement of the moment. He was in a new land and a new environment, and there was a big future waiting for him. Even if this was the usual everyday life for people living in space, it was a great horizon of possibilities to someone from Earth. It brought him hope. Sena was so excited that he took a deep breath to calm himself. He did not know when his misfortune would strike. In order to cope with it, he had to remain cool. "What's wrong, Sena?" "Nothing. I'm just glad that the mark came off my face." "Well, they're temporary anyways," Kenneth said while rubbing his forehead. "Once classes start, you can get them erased after about a month, but if you get another one, they extend it by another month. Luckily, we have nothing to fear because we have paper bags," Kenneth said as they pulled out their bag faces and put them on. Sena turned red with embarrassment and tried to walk away from them. Karen and Jaikiran monitored Sena from afar. "Hey, Kenneth. There's sure quite a lot of people here who aren't students." Most of the students were walking along with family members. "Oh, when we left the dormitory, we didn't see the other freshmen because they left ahead of us to meet with their parents." "That's right. Most of the parents are here sightseeing, but GP students' families get various benefits." Tourism/families benefits? In short, travel expenses are free of charge for all-round trips using GP regular cargo ships, and there's also free lodging if you use the GP's basic lodging places. They only have to pay food expenses and sightseeing costs, so it's very cheap. "Well, then why didn't your family come, Kenneth?" "Because my house is at the academy, there's no reason for them to come." "I can see them anytime." Suddenly the crowd in front of them split into two. "What's going on?" Eri was dressed in what looked like a beautiful jet black kimono. Although it was a pretty dress, it did not distract from the fact that Eri had spent all night working on getting the systems of the academy back up and running. She hadn't gotten any sleep at all and was visibly fatigued. "Good morning, Sena," Eri said in a glossy voice. "Congratulations on your entrance into the GP Academy. I wasn't able to convince your parents to come, so I came instead." "Oh, thank you." However, in spite of her words, she gave off the air of a mistress who had snuck into a dead father's funeral to get his wealth would have put out, rather than that of a stand-in guardian. This reminded him of what she had done to him the other day with her bathing on the video monitor. Sena began to feel sorry for Minaho, who was actually Eri's daughter. "For today only. You can call me Mommy," she said with an expression on her face like that of a spider with her prey in front of her. "Hey, how about it? Call me Mommy." "Oh!" And now it seemed she was going in to drain him of his blood. He had the chills. "Please help," he thought loudly, but everyone who witnessed the sight did nothing in response to his mental screams. They merely looked away as they passed by as if to say, "I'm not going to get involved in that." Just around that time Kariko awoke. The nanomachines had left her body. Oops. Kariko realized what time it was and panicked. Amain, wake up." She shook the sleeping Amain roughly. "What's wrong? What do I have to do to wake you up?" "Shock you. Did we fall asleep?" "Wow, that wasn't planned." Amain instantaneously understood the situation. "Oh no, I'm totally late. Good thing I brought a change of clothes. Let's just take a shower. Hurry." They took off their clothes and underwear and rushed into the shower pod at the same time. "Hey, this is only for one person at a time." Kariko and Amain fit snugly in the pod. "There is no time for that. It can't be helped." "Fine." At the next moment, liquid nanomachines were sprayed on them. "Wow, Kariko, that's unexpected. You have some nice muscles. Watch where you're touching, Amain. What's with that cute voice? Does it make you feel weird?" "Stop it." "Oh my, I hope you're not getting any tingles in any narrow spaces of yours." When they were finished, the two of them tumbled out of the pod with quite a lot of momentum. Amain stole a glimpse at Kariko's back for a moment. While she had firm muscles, she also had a feminine physique. You could see that her whole body was very flexible like a spring. Moreover, she was abnormally beautiful. Kariko noticed that a mane was staring at her body. What? What? She said, twisting to try and hide it. Kariko, don't you know you have a beautiful body? Not really, I kind of hate it. I'm envious of your smooth skin. Your brunette hair shines beautifully on your pure white skin, just as one would expect from a relative of Miss Funaho. What? How can you envy me when you're a former top model? Kariko's statement wasn't said in a bad mood of any sorts. By the way, how long are you going to be naked? Rude. At that time Sana was panicking. I should run away. His flight instinct kicked in. He felt something near his hands. Eri's thin white hand grabbed Sana's wrist. The black kimono with silver threading made her pale skin stand out. All right, let's go, Eri said, pulling Sana in the opposite direction of the venue. Hey, Eri, the venue is that way. Let's talk about our future in a quiet place where there is no one around. This is not something that someone's parents should say to them. No, but the entrance ceremony. I'm sure it will be a nice one. Our future is more important. But Eri, you also have to be there. Of course, she said as she dragged him in the opposite direction. No, it's not. I mean that. Eri, you're the president. Exactly, which is why you should come with me. But I have to go to the entrance ceremony. Sana had suffered from many misfortunes, but he had never suffered one that involved a woman like this before. But someone help. He cried out for help, but no one was willing to do anything. It was like when a wild animal attacked a member of a herd, and the rest of the herd just watched as the dead one was dragged away. He reached out with his other hand for help. Sana-chan, a powerful and warm voice called. He felt a warmth on his outreached hands. It cleared away the poisonous, foggy aura coming from Eri. Ms. Matoto. His messiah had appeared. Matoto grasped Sana's extended hand with a sunny and full smile. Sana, congratulations on your admission. While saying that, Matoto stroked Sana's crew cut. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Oh, Sana-chan, you're crying. I'm glad that you are so happy, she said, stroking his head some more. His head felt like it was getting warmer, like she was emanating warm energy into him from his head that was thawing him from the Eri's icy grip. Yes, I'm very happy, Sana said. Sana wasn't the only one relieved by Matoto's appearance. Karen, who had been watching from a distance, was also relieved. We were talking, how rude, Eri said, coming in between Matoto and Sana. Oh, Eri, good morning. Oh, good morning, Eri said. Matoto's smile had slain Eri's anger. Matoto, today I'm going to attend the entrance ceremony as a stand-in for Sana's parents. Oh, Eri, you're going as well? You should join us. Are you two over their friends of Sana? She said to Kenneth and Rajo, who had frozen up. Yes. Well, then let's go together. Join us. They joined Matoto and Sana and started walking back to the hall. Hey, yelled Eri. Eri, isn't the weather nice today? Oh, well, that's right, oh ho ho. Eri said. She got swept up by Matoto's obliviousness. Oh, Sana, there actually is something I want to talk about though, she said, but she was cut off by Sirio, who cut in front of them. Eri meant to tell Sana that he was selected to give a speech as class representative. Sirio was mad that an Earthling had been allowed to do this. I am the representative, Sana said, confused. Matoto was delighted, but Eri's face turned pale. Awesome. I'm glad you agree with me, Sana. An Earthling has no business giving this speech. The air around Eri began to shake. Even Matoto seemed to have noticed it. Oh no, Eri is serious. Eri's body was trembling and shaking like a volcano right before a volcanic eruption. The people around them sensed Eri's anger and got out of the way. It's best that you don't go defiling this sacred ceremony. Blah blah blah. Sirio went on, and Eri's anger reached its boiling point. Eri snapped and began attacking Sirio with a ridiculously fast combo of attacks that resembled one a character in a fighting game would pull off. Ms. Matoto, shouldn't we stop her? No. It's okay, Matoto said in her usual bright voice despite the gruesome display in front of her. Hiya. Eri yelled as she uppercut Sirio, who flew up into the sky with a trail of blood flowing behind him. He fell back to the ground with a gross-sounding crunch. Ms. Matoto. It's all right. But he made a weird sound. Eri-sama. Why? Said Sirio as he got up off of the ground. Wait, he can still stand. I told you he was okay. Eri was still mad, however, and was in berserker mode. The following loop began to repeat before Seina's eyes. Sirio collapsed to the ground, and then he got up. Eri attacked him. Sirio flew back up into the air. Sirio got back up, and the cycle repeated. However, the end of the loop, which seemed to be infinite, came abruptly. Sirio unconsciously avoided Eri's attacks and ran away. Just then, the fireworks which announced the beginning of the entrance ceremony began to be launched into the sky. Oh, it's about time, let's go, said Eri. Jayakuren and Hakuren stealthily followed them. The inside of the GP Academy auditorium was filled with a majestic atmosphere. It was like a huge church on the inside. The style of the building was a fusion of Jurian and Senoan aesthetics. It was made to commemorate the formation of the Galactic Federation. However, Seina could not afford to take in the scenery of the place at the time. What should I do? He asked. He had no idea what to say as the freshman representative. Normally, they'd have given you notice beforehand. Maybe they forgot due to Seina's probability bias. That's right. That must be it. Calm down, Seina. Here are some reference examples of entrance ceremony speeches that have been done in the past. You can read it as it is and just adjust things as needed. Rijo said. Thank you, Rijo. Even so, there are quite a lot of people watching the ceremony this year. Kenneth said, looking around. In the venue, freshmen were divided between men and women across the central aisle. Teachers and staff members lined up on the walls at both ends, and people of high status and their families were sitting in a manner that overlooked the ceremony on elevated stands. There are quite a lot of people this year, aren't there, Miss Eri? Matoto said to Eri, who she was sitting next to. Seina sure has stirred up quite the parade, said Eri. Seina sure is popular. Yes, but not necessarily in a good way, Eri said, glancing over to a certain spot in the auditorium. Huh? Matoto followed Eri's gaze. She was looking at a group that clearly had an outraged atmosphere about them. Matoto thought some of them looked like criminals. Eri confirmed that some were, but they weren't wanted, so there was nothing they could do about it. An old detective and a young detective were talking to each other in the crowd about Seina. The detective Mai said to the older detective, "It's been a while since I was a freshman, since my senpai's head was blown off by a space pirate, since I fell in love with her and worshipped her from a close distance, hasn't it?" The old detective reminded Mai that Seina attracted criminals to him. The detective understood what this meant and rushed up the stairs of the building to survey the area from a balcony. The lighting there was intentionally dim as opposed to the lighting on the first floor shining on the students. He ran into Amain. "Well, if it isn't Ms. Amain, you are as conspicuous as usual. That reminds me, I heard you were the one who found that boy. Well, apparently it looks like it was just in time for you." Kariko was also with her. They engaged in small talk, then Sirio got on stage. She wondered if Sirio had a clone because she had seen him get his ass kicked outside. Sirio is a member of the Tenin family, so they had his bioenhancement customized so that he heals extremely quickly. He's practically a cyborg, Amain told her. But even so, how is it that he's able to get back up like that? Even if his body heals that fast, his mind should still be traumatized by it. Shouldn't his ability to mentally recover be impossible? Even if his body regenerated instantly, the mental shock of such a thing should have paralyzed him. He shouldn't have even been able to move. Haha. Well, that's because he is what could be best described as a genius at being thoughtless. Kariko and Amain noticed something weird about the audience. Some of the people there had noticed them and were staring and pointing at them. Hakuren and Swearon checked the camera and sound equipment to make sure it worked. They found several criminals and told the GP about it. Everyone quiet. The high voice of Sirio echoed to the venue. We shall now begin the 86,355th GP entrance ceremony. Please welcome Principal Mikami Kuramitsu. Click, clack, click. Slowly in the silence, dignified footsteps were heard as the principal made her way to the stage. Sena recognized her as the woman from the other day who had been in Ari's office. Everyone, welcome to the GP Academy. This academy was established with the aim of short-term training of GP personnel to protect the peace of the galaxy and to protect people's lives, so the curriculum of our school is mainly composed of workplace practice, and it is very difficult. Even so, I sincerely hope that everyone here will become a good GP member and will graduate from this academy and go on to be fearless. Please do your best to become a good member of the GP. Work hard, Mikami said, and she stepped down and saluted the freshmen. And now for a speech from the freshman representative. Please welcome our new student representative, Yamada Sena. Wait, someone belted out. Isn't he the one who caused that disaster last night? Yes, he seized nearly 500 pirate ships, captured thousands of wanted criminals, and caught Widow. He is the boy who came from the Earth, Yamada Sena, said Mikami. Sena got embarrassed at the announcement of his achievements and froze up. Sena, are you okay? Asked her Joe. Sena. Good luck. Kiriko called out to Sena. Sena-chan, seems to be quite nervous, Ms. Ari. Ari remarked something under her breath about how if Matoto hadn't stopped her she would have been able to loosen up some of Sena's tension. What are you doing, you idiot? Sirio yelled at Sena. Ari got mad at him and quickly picked up 3 spare chairs from around her and threw them at Sirio's head. They hit him. Amain laughed and everyone broke out into laughter with her. Sena's nervousness was broken by this funny sight, and he worked up the courage to get up on the stage and picked up the microphone. Everyone stared at him. Greetings from a new student, huh? Sena began to say, but his microphone was dead. He tapped it a bit. Did it malfunction? But it was due to Sena's personal data still being in the systems from last night. Something inside Sirio began to go off. He panicked. Sena yelled back into the microphone, and it came on at full volume, causing a loud blast of feedback that hit everyone, and then the speakers exploded. Sirio was knocked back by the explosion into the crowd of students. There were lots of injuries. Thus, the closing ceremony of the 86,355th GP Academy entry ceremony ended abruptly.